I still think about that night. It was just a normal road trip, one of those long drives where you talk about stupid things, listen to music, and eat gas station snacks. Nothing felt strange until we stopped. There were 3 of us, me, Tyler, and Josh. We were heading to a small town a few hours away for the weekend. It was late, maybe 11 p.m., when Tyler said he needed to use the bathroom. Josh, who was driving, groaned, but pulled into a rest stop off the highway. It was one of those isolated ones, the kind with flickering lights and just a few cars scattered around. No one was outside, no one was moving, just a few parked cars, silent and empty. Tyler got out and went to the bathroom. Josh and I stayed in the car, scrolling through our phones. A minute passed, then 2. Then, out of nowhere, Tyler sprinted out of the bathroom, running straight toward the car. His face was pale, his eyes wide with something close to panic. He yanked the door open and practically dove inside. "Drive," he gasped. Josh chuckled. "Do what?" "Drive," Tyler's voice cracked. "Now!" Then I saw him, a man, tall, thin, expressionless. He was walking out of the bathroom, slow and steady, his gaze locked on us. There was nothing on his face, no anger, no confusion, nothing. Just calm, deliberate movement. Josh didn't ask any more questions. He turned the key and floored it, the tires screeching as we sped toward the exit. In the mirror, I saw something that made my stomach drop. The man didn't stop walking. He started running. He wasn't flailing or sprinting wildly. It was controlled, like he was used to it, like he'd done this before. We shot out onto the highway. I exhaled, thinking it was over. Then the headlights clicked on. From the far end of the parking lot, a car pulled out of the darkness, an old, rusted sedan, and it was following us. Josh stepped on the gas, weaving between the few cars on the road. The sedan matched us. No honking, no flashing lights, just silent pursuit. I turned to Tyler. "Who was that?" Tyler's hands were shaking. "I don't know. What happened in there?" Tyler swallowed hard, staring at the road. His voice was barely above a whisper. He was just standing in the bathroom. Didn't move. Didn't say anything. Just watching me. The hair on my arm stood up. And then, when I turned to leave, he said... Tyler's voice caught in his throat. "Said what?" I pressed. He finally looked at me. He said, "I was waiting for you." My stomach twisted. Behind us, the sedan edged closer. The headlights were too bright, almost blinding. It was gaining on us. Josh gritted his teeth. "Screw this." He floored it. The speedometer climbed past 100 mph. The road was almost empty, just a few distant taillights ahead. The sedan matched us. No one inside was visible. No movement, no faces, just a dark shape behind the windshield. Then it swerved. Into the next lane, Josh cursed and veered right. The sedan did the same. It wasn't trying to pass us. It was trying to stay beside us. For the first time in my life, I understood real fear. Tyler was gripping his seatbelt like a lifeline. He's playing with us. Josh took a hard right onto an exit ramp. The tires screamed against the pavement. We skidded onto a smaller road, trees closing in on both sides. The sedan followed. Josh yanked the wheel again, swerving onto a narrow side street. The sedan kept coming. My chest tightened. There was no way this was random. "He's not just following," I whispered. "He's hunting us." Josh's knuckles were white on the steering wheel, and then, just like that, the sedan turned off its headlights. The road ahead was pitch black, no streetlights, no other cars, just darkness. And somewhere inside it, the man. Josh didn't slow down. "If we keep going, we'll lose him." None of us spoke. For 2 miles, we drove in silence. The road was empty. No sign of the sedan, no headlights reappearing behind us. Finally, Josh took a shaky breath. "I think..." Then we saw it. Parked on the side of the road. No lights, no engine running, just waiting. The sedan. I saw movement inside, a silhouette. And then the driver's door opened. Josh didn't hesitate. He slammed the gas pedal to the floor. The car shot forward, the engine roaring. In the mirror, I saw the man step out onto the road. I braced myself for the headlights to come on, but they didn't. He didn't move. He just stood there, watching us vanish into the night. We didn't stop again until we reached the town. Josh pulled into the first open gas station, all of us too shaken to speak. Tyler finally broke the silence. He knew. His voice was barely audible. Josh and I looked at him. Knew what? Tyler was staring straight ahead, his hands still, trembling. He knew we'd stop there, at that rest stop. My skin went cold. Josh exhaled sharply. "You're saying he was waiting for me," Tyler whispered. "Like he said. None of us slept that night. None of us ever took that highway again. And sometimes when I stop at a gas station, I check the mirrors." I've always been comfortable driving alone at night. The quiet roads, the empty highways. It never really bothered me. I drove long hours for work, and most nights I just focused on getting home as quickly as possible. That night was no different, or at least that's what I thought. I had just finished a shift at a construction site 2 towns over. It was past midnight, and I was exhausted. My back ached from hours of heavy lifting, and my eyes burned from lack of sleep. I just wanted a shower, a quick meal, and my bed. The GPS said the highway home was under construction, forcing me onto a detour through some back roads. Annoying, but not unusual. I followed the new route, winding through quiet streets and stretches of darkness. That's when I saw the car. It was parked on the side of the road just past the edge of town. A dark-colored sedan. At first, I barely noticed it. But as I passed, its headlights clicked on, illuminating the road behind me. The car pulled out onto the road. I didn't think much of it. Just another driver heading home late. I kept driving. Few minutes passed. The car stayed behind me. That was fine. Maybe they were going the same way. But then I switched lanes. They switched too. I slowed down. They slowed down. I sped up. So did they. Something about it felt off. I checked my rearview mirror. The car had no front plate. The windows were tinted, dark. I turned onto a smaller road, hoping they'd keep going straight. They didn't. My hands tightened around the steering wheel. Okay, maybe it was just coincidence. I pulled into a gas station pretending like I needed to stop. If they weren't following me, they'd just keep going. They didn't. They pulled into the gas station too. They didn't park, didn't get out, just sat there, watching. I sat there too, pretending to check my phone. My heart was beating fast. Now. I wasn't scared yet, just uneasy. A couple of minutes passed, then the car slowly pulled out of the lot. Relief washed over me. Maybe I was just paranoid. Maybe it was nothing. I waited a minute before heading back onto the road. Then, a mile down the road, the car was there, waiting, headlights off. As soon as I passed, the lights snapped on, and it pulled out behind me. My stomach dropped. This wasn't random. They were waiting for me. I sped up, my pulse pounding in my ears. The car matched my speed, turned sharply onto another street, hoping to lose them. They followed. Every turn, they stayed right behind me. I didn't know what to do. I pulled to the side of the road, pretending like I was about to step out and confront them. The car stopped too. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then their driver's side door opened. Just a crack. Then it shut. Then the engine roared, and the car charged at me. I barely had time to react. I leaped out of the way as the car shot past, missing me by inches. My heart was slamming against my ribs. I scrambled back into my car, threw it into reverse, and sped off in the opposite direction. The other car didn't follow. I didn't stop, driving until I made it back to the highway. By the time I had service again, I pulled over and called the police. They asked for a description, but I barely had anything to give them. A dark-colored sedan, no plate, tinted windows. They took the report, but I knew nothing would come of it. Whoever was in that car, they were gone. Or at least, they were gone that night. I made it home safely, but I didn't sleep much. And now, whenever I drive at night, I check my rearview mirror, every turn, every stoplight, because I don't know who they were. I don't know why they followed me, and I don't know if one night I'll see those headlights again. I first noticed the truck on the highway. It was old, rusted, headlights dim. I wouldn't have thought twice about it if I hadn't accidentally cut it off. A quick mistake, barely worth a honk. But the truck didn't honk. It just stayed behind me. I was heading home from work, exhausted. The usual 40-minute drive, nothing unusual. I switched lanes. The truck switched too. I slowed down. It slowed down. That's when I started paying attention. I changed lanes again. The truck followed. I told myself it was nothing. Just another driver heading the same way. But when I took my usual exit, a small road leading into a quieter area, the truck came with me. I checked the mirror. The driver's face was impossible to see behind the grime-covered windshield. I made 3 extra turns, random ones, just to be sure. The truck copied every single one. I could feel my heart picking up speed. Maybe I was being paranoid. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But I didn't want to test it. I pulled into a gas station, a bright place, people around, safety. I parked and watched the truck roll in a few seconds later. It didn't pull up to a pump. It didn't park in a normal spot. It just sat there, a few rows away, engine rumbling. I pretended to check my phone. Waited. 5 minutes. The truck didn't move. I couldn't see the driver. I got out of my car and walked inside. Bought a drink. Took my time. My hands were sweating. I glanced outside through the store window. The truck was still there, waiting. I considered asking for help. But help with what? Hey, I think this guy is following me. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe I was being crazy. So I took a deep breath and walked back to my car. The truck's engine roared to life as soon as I turned the key. I pulled out. So did he. This was real. I didn't go home. That was the only thing on my mind now. Do not go home. I drove aimlessly, making turn after turn. The truck followed, unrelenting. No headlights now, just a dark shape in the rearview mirror. I sped up. So did he. I ran a yellow light just before it turned red. The truck blew through the intersection right after me. My breathing turned shallow. This wasn't normal. This wasn't road rage. This was something else. I needed to lose him. I took a sharp turn onto a smaller road, one I didn't recognize. No streetlights, no houses, just open land. My phone had no service. The truck's engine roared behind me. I floored it, but the road was narrow and winding. Too dangerous. I couldn't go fast enough. Then the truck pulled ahead. It cut me off, skidding sideways, blocking the entire road. I slammed the brakes, tires screeching. My heart pounded in my chest. I was trapped. The truck door opened. A man stepped out. He didn't rush. He didn't yell. He just started walking toward me. I fumbled for my phone. Still no service. My fingers were shaking. The man kept walking, slow, deliberate. I couldn't see his face. I couldn't move. Then, pure instinct kicked in. I slammed the car into reverse, flooring it. The tires skidded. The car jerked, but I didn't stop. I spun the wheel hard, whipping the car around. I didn't look at the man. I just drove. Fast. Too fast. The truck disappeared behind me. I didn't stop. Not for miles. When I finally reached civilization, shaking, gasping for air, I pulled into a crowded parking lot and just sat there, gripping the wheel. I checked the mirror. No truck. No man. Nothing. I waited. 5 minutes. 10. An hour. The truck never appeared again. I drove home at sunrise. Every shadow on the road made my heart jump. I never saw that truck again. Never saw that man. But I still check my mirror every time I drive at night, because what if he's still out there? What if he's just waiting for next time? It started as just another late night. Mike and I had been at a small diner on the edge of town, eating greasy burgers and talking about nothing important. It was past midnight when we finally got in my car and headed home. The roads were mostly empty, just a few cars passing by. The kind of quiet that makes you notice every little sound. The hum of the engine, the faint whistle of wind through a cracked window. I didn't think much of the truck parked a few spaces away at the diner. But I noticed it again when we pulled onto the main road. It turned out right behind us. Mike was driving. He didn't seem to care, but I always pay attention to cars behind me, especially at night. 2 turns later, the truck was still there. "Little weird, huh?" I said. Mike glanced in the mirror. "Coincidence." Another turn. The truck followed. Now it wasn't a coincidence. My stomach tightened, but I tried to keep my voice normal. "Turn left up here." Mike did. So did the truck. We were on a quiet residential street now, lined with dark houses, most porch lights off. Mike's house was just ahead. He pulled into his driveway. The truck slowed down. Then it pulled over a few houses away. Just sat there, engine running. Mike killed the engine. Okay, that's creepy. We sat in silence for a few seconds, watching the truck in the rearview mirror. "You think we should?" I started. But then the truck's headlights flicked off. Just a dark shape in the street now. Waiting. Mike swallowed. "Dude, what the hell?" I felt my pulse in my neck. My first thought was to get out, go to Mike's house, lock the doors. But then what? That truck would still be out there. And now they knew where Mike lived. No, we had to lose them. "Drive," I said. Mike didn't argue. He turned the key, backed out, and took off down the street. I watched the truck. It waited. 5 seconds. 10. Then its engine growled back to life, and it started following again. This wasn't random. Mike took sharp turns through the neighborhood, cutting down streets at random. But the truck stayed with us, never rushing, never falling behind, like it had all the time in the world. "We have to shake him," I said. Mike nodded, knuckles white on the wheel. He turned onto a wider road, then suddenly veered into a small side street. Another left, another right, a cul-de-sac. The truck wasn't there. Mike exhaled. Jesus. We waited for a full minute. Nothing. "I think we lost him," Mike said. Neither of us laughed. It didn't feel funny. I checked my phone. 12:47 a.m. "Let's go back. I'll drop you off, then get home." Mike didn't argue. He drove back to his house slower this time, checking every mirror. No truck. When we pulled up, I still had that bad feeling in my gut, but the street was empty. "You good?" Mike asked. I nodded. "Yeah. See you tomorrow." He got out, jogged up to his front door, and waved before stepping inside. The porch light flicked off. I started toward home. I turned right at the stop sign, then left onto the main road. Then I glanced in my rearview mirror. A truck. No headlights. My throat closed. It had been waiting. I gripped the wheel. My first instinct was to gun it, get away as fast as I could, but I knew that wouldn't work. We'd already tried. I had one option. I drove straight for a few blocks, keeping my speed normal. The truck kept pace, just a dark shape in the mirror. Then I turned. Not toward home, toward the police station. The truck followed. Every light turned, green as I approached, like the road wanted me to keep going. A few more minutes. Just a few more. Then, a sudden screech behind me, tires burning pavement. I looked back. The truck had stopped at an intersection, idling. Then it turned. It drove away. I didn't stop at the station. I pulled into the lot, sat there shaking. I waited. 10 minutes, 15, no truck. I took the longest, way home I could think of. Checked every mirror, every shadow. I didn't see it again, but I didn't sleep that night, because that truck had followed us. Not once, not twice. It had been waiting, and I still don't know why.